Globally, petrochemical available capacity has been and is expected to be stable. The Petrochemical Weekly update starts now. Several days ago, Susan Grissom, Chief Industry Analyst at American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers, issued a statement regarding reports from California about the use of imported crude oil in California refineries. In the report titled "California Consumers' Environment Not Protected by Restricting Access to Global Energy," Grissom makes a few key points. The state continues to rely heavily on products made from crude oil. Much of the gasoline, diesel, marine, and aviation fuels consumed in California comes from crude oil supplied from global markets, as you can see in this chart from the California Energy Commission. And finally, California refineries are not able to access much of the U.S. crude oil production outside of Alaska due to a lack of pipeline and rail access and cost-prohibitive Jones Act vessels. You may have heard that California's Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order to phase out the sale of gasoline-powered vehicles by 2035. This is part of the zero-emission vehicle mandate. And this got me thinking. You may be wondering what would happen to the petrochemical industry if the zero-emission vehicle mandate became nationwide. If you are, then the Petchem Global Market Intel Advisory, delivered by the Petrochemical Strategies Expert Network and supported by IIR Energy and powered by i2 Enabled, can help. If you have questions and want answers, ask me. Let's turn our attention now to global petrochemical capacity developments over the past week and what we can expect to see by the end of this week. Here you see the PCGMI start of day dashboard, which I use to look at petrochemical feedstocks and products around the world. Over the past week, available capacity in Asia was down mostly due to an outage at India Oil Corporation's Panipat refinery, as well as reduced rates at 2 Chinese petrochemical sites. To some extent, regional capacity declines were offset by additional capacity coming online at the Jubail Petrochemical Complex in Saudi Arabia. In Europe, the gain in available capacity came from Priolo Gargallo Petrochemicals in Italy. By the end of the week, we expect the ethylene #1 unit at the joint venture between CNOOC International and Shell Petrochemical Company to come online in China. This accounts for almost 80% of the total gains expected in the Asian region. Let's take a look at the headlines. Chevron Corporation is planning $15 billion in capital spending for 2022, an increase of more than 20% from its likely 2021 spending total. This includes about $800 million worth of carbon reduction efforts. Like ExxonMobil and other top oil and gas players, Chevron has enjoyed a post-COVID lockdown jump in profits from higher oil and gas prices, but is heeding to investor concerns about overspending and climate change. Industrial Info is tracking more than $53.8 billion worth of active Chevron projects globally, including nearly $14.5 billion worth in North America. The Middle East is home to a large number of facilities that produce much of the world's chemicals and great amounts of greenhouse gases. Since the region's economy depends heavily on the chemical processing industry, many of its players have pledged to invest billions of dollars over the next few years in green energy production to reduce carbon emissions and achieve higher efficiency. Industrial Info is tracking more than $22.5 billion of chemical processing projects that are aiming for completion before the end of this year. As the remainder of 2021 ticks away, not all of the projects will make the New Year deadline, and late-stage construction will slip into 2022. The projects vary in type and scope, ranging from multi-billion-dollar petrochemical plants to smaller maintenance projects. Thank you for watching the Petrochemicals Weekly Update. If you have any questions about anything you saw here today, just ask me. My name is Robert Sawchuk, and I will see you next time.